This is basically a picture of the mother rock, star, planet, and atom, and how the hemispherical magnetic field works. You can see we have, I can't differentiate at this point between which one is what you call northward and which one is called southward. My best guess is northward is going to be right hand, but it may be opposite because we're dealing with imbalance here. At the level of space, it's balanced. Layers of northward flowing ion flows and southward ion flows separated by a layer of negative electricity. It comes out of the planet like this. One side, first one force emits a layer, and then the other one does layering in between. But it starts out on a planetary scale. If it's northward flow, that means red is northward dominant and blue is southward. One is rotational with the body in moment, like the atom or the Earth spinning in Mother Rock. The other is going to be counter-rotational. That's why you see hemispheres with weather patterns running across this direction, and on the southern hemisphere running the other direction. Because one spin is rotational, the other is counter-rotational. That just hit me. Oh shit. That's where the imbalance is. And the rotate. So now you have an electrical stream that goes through. This is a complete torus. Either way, there's huge torus in the center of this. Right? We already showed the other pictures where it's both fields overlap each other and create that torus right there. Energy flows through the torus and electricity. The center of the atom, the center of every mass and every body in universe is positive electrical. We're outside in space. For the last 100 years or so, they've been trying to deny that there's any magnetism or electricity in space. Well, guess what? They done found out. They've known for 20-some years now when they first discovered magnetism out there. And of course, you can't have a magnetic field moving anywhere without having an electrical constituent to it. So they just assume when they look out in space and see a bunch of white dots out there that there's no electricity. Guess what? There is. And this is how it works. Because it emits from the atom. And you see these layers on the surface of this planet, and you are interacting with them. You live your entire life immersed in this electromagnetic cocoon, so to speak, surrounded by these layers. Atom, the same thing. Every atom, every time molecule connects to this arrangement. North and south magnetic pole is really right twist, left twist. From the electron to the atom to the molecules to everything the mass builds. It does upon this precept of a right twist interacting with a left twist. And one of those acts upon this signal here. Electricity forms a circuit. So that negative electricity can flow through the center of this and interact with the positive core. This is where it drives the energy to make the whole mechanism work. As the layers come off and build these areas in space, we drift through them. This is how electricity works and magnetism works. Now it shows you from this setup here how your orbitals, S&P orbitals, are made from an interaction between the two layers as they come off a right twist or left twist, a combination of the two. If you're looking down through the polar view on this, you'll see where it intercepts just like I did in one of my videos as it circles around. Now that mechanism there is what builds the conch shell. Now this mechanism here, secondary movement, see if I can explain it, is if we turn this sideways. Now you have a form of expansion going outwards with a form of compression, vortex, one inside the other, opposite movement. Right twist, left twist. This movement here, sideways with that, then gives you the Nautilus shell. There. One action of the atom shows both of the original cells. Everything in cells, everything in life comes from this arrangement. One shell going one direction out the axial flow, the other going the other direction out of the equatorial flow. Both of them are combinations too, and they are regulated by this layer of electricity. Here's why. As you travel outward or inward, oh, great time for these things to quit. Now, understand how the magnetic flow is. You go through these layers, first one, blue, and then red, whatever, and then the electrical. If your signal is coming through here, the signal you're picking up for this cell, for anything to operate on, is coming in electrical, right twist, left twist. That controls everything from your DNA to molecules, S&P orbitals, that direction. This allows one force to be slightly stronger than the other. 11.8%, I'll tell you all about that. That's right hand, left hand. That's why there's 11.8% of the population, animals and humans, are left hand and the other right hand, because we are being controlled right now by that layer that we're in. As a planetary system, we're being controlled by that flow. That's a backfeed. That electrical wall that Voyager 2 just discovered is a backfeed for all magnetism and electricity in solids, liquids, and plasma, period. Now, the trouble with when we drift from one area of northward or right twist into an area of southward or left twist, the flow reverses. The electrical layer now lays in between in the other direction. So instead of reading the signal north or right twist, left twist, electrical, we're reading it left twist, right twist, electrical. Completely reverses everything in our electronics and electronic grid, destroying